Hey there, Falcon fans. This is Stickster, and I'm coming at you with a little bit of a different video. I recently got an Electron Digitac 2, and I have been doing all sorts of projects with it. I really love it. It's a cool little unit. And one of the things that I wanted to try in it was making ambient soundscapes. And to do this, I wanted to take some of the samples that I have of environmental sounds and be able to turn them into loops. Of course, you can do this in a DAW, but often when I'm working with the Digitac 2, I really don't want to be using a DAW. It just kind of interrupts the flow. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to make any sample into an infinite loop. It's actually very easy, and all the tools are built into Falcon. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to drag in a sample that I've got, and so we're going to drag this onto the mapper, and it's going to generate all the key groups and other things that we need. I'm going to close up the program, layer, and key groups sections here, so that way I can kind of open this, the sample up here and show you what is going on. So I'm going to use the Shift key, and you can use a scroll wheel or two fingers on a mouse trackpad. And if you move them down, you can expand the waveform. If you move it up, you can contract the waveform. There's also, if you hold down the Control key or Command on a Mac, you can zoom in and out of waveforms by moving your mouse wheel or your two fingers on the trackpad up or down as well. And in fact, you can get all the way literally down to the sample level. If I zoom in here a little bit, yeah, so you can see that we can actually get all the way down to the sample level. I'm going to expand this out a little bit too, so it's a little bit easier to see. All right. So excellent. All right. Good to know all that stuff. Let me contract this back down so it's a little easier to navigate. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select a very short part of this sample to loop. Often when I'm working with samples like this, just to make sure that I'm getting the full range sound and I'm not affecting it with my key velocity, I will often go down to the amplitude envelope, and I'll change the velocity amount and the velocity sensitivity both to 0. And that way, when I hit the note that the sample's assigned to, it will be automatically playing at the same volume every time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and trigger that sound now, and hopefully we'll be able to hear it. Okay, and as you can tell, it's just kind of an environmental sound. It's out in a country field somewhere. This sound, by the way, is from the freesound.org project, and this is one of the Creative Commons 0 files. It's free for use. You can do anything you want with it. You can find lots of cool sounds there, field recordings, and lots of different things. If you want to check it out, definitely do that. Okay, great. So we now know what's in the sound. I'm going to hit stop on Falcon so I know what I want. I'm going to grab a very small amount of audio here. This is the area that we're going to loop. And so it turns out this is actually very easy to do. Once you have an area selected like this, you right click, and in that area, you're going to disable the one shot. And once you've done that, it means that the sound is actually going to be, rather than playing once all the way through, it will follow the amplitude envelope that you've already assigned. So once you've done that, with the area selected, you can create a loop going forward. And often what I'll do after that is I'll right click and I will snap the selection to the nearest 0 crossing. Now I will note this is sometimes erratic because when you have a stereo sample, often the left and right channels do not have a 0 crossing at the same point. So Falcon will do its best to find that, but it really only works well on mono samples. Now, once you've got this area selected with the loop, and you'll see the L and the R telling you where the beginning and the end of the loop area are, you can right click again, and you can set the start marker at the beginning of the loop and the end marker at the end of the loop. Let's hear what we've got here. Okay, excellent. That actually came out pretty good. It sounds like it sort of naturally looped, which is really nice. There's no clicks or pops, but just to make sure that everything's in good shape, what I tend to do is I'll enable the crossfade with using the right click menu. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that I can see the beginning of that crossfade. And once I'm there, I will grab let me zoom in a little further. I'll grab that crossfade and I will move it to whatever length I like. Now, for environmental sounds or things like that, typically you don't want to have a really long crossfade because what you might find is that you're going to hear some sounds will repeat in a way that is a little more noticeable at the crossfade point. So what I'll tend to do is I'll select something that's not too long, just, fraction of a second is plenty. And once I've got that, let's go ahead and try the sample again. I don't know if you can see this bar, but it's running, and here we're about to cross the loop point. Perfect. No clicks, no pops, which is great. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to print the crossfade. And what this does is it actually encodes the crossfade into the audio file itself. And once we've done that, we're going to crop. So the sample now is the exact loopable file that we are looking for. And once we've done that, we can save this file, save the sample as, and we can go to wherever we save our samples. I actually have a special sample directory I use, so I'm going to go to my custom file, to my Falcon exports and my loops, and we're going to call this grassy field loop. All right, once we've done that, you can use that grassy field loop anywhere you would like to loop infinitely. You could copy it into a DAW and duplicate it over and over to have an endless loop. You could transfer that, as I'm going to do, into my Dig Attack 2 and use it as the background for a song. So I hope this helps you. Just a really quick tip on how to use the sampler. It's a great tool to have, UVI Falcon right alongside the Dig Attack 2 or another hardware sampler unit. It's very handy and lets you make music the way that you like. So I hope this helps you. I hope that you make something really cool and that you share it with the world. And till next time, I hope that you have a great time making music, and I hope you have a lot of fun with Falcon. I'll see you next time.